I think anytime we can fill the frame with multi-tools, we are in for a full day. So let's get right into it. Welcome in, everybody. Going to start off, as always, with a quick pocket dump. Give me just a moment to get that going, and we'll talk about what I've been carrying for the last week. As always, we're going to start today with a quick pocket dump, and the tool that I have been carrying for the last week has been the Victorinox Swiss Tool Spirit. And this is the scissors variation. There's a few different options, and this does also not have the one-hand opening blades. If you guys aren't familiar with this, this is an absolutely beautiful multi-tool. It's one of my favorite designs of multi-tools. Everything, the fit and finish is absolutely immaculate on this thing, so I do highly, highly recommend it. One thing I did miss with this particular tool is the lack of a one-handed openable blade. Just having to do two-handed, use the nail nick gets a little bit, it's just more work than, some of the like Leatherman Waves and stuff that I've carried in the past. But I mean, this has been barely used, and it just drops open. The smoothness of the action is incredible. The attention to detail that Victorinox does on these things is absolutely incredible. Every tool opens, snaps into place in a satisfying way. You don't get any clumping. You can just access anything you want from the outside of the tool. Love, love, love this tool. Was rocking the leather sheath, which I like a lot. It unfortunately is only Velcro, which is not my favorite. Just has it's a little weaker in my opinion than maybe a button snap. I would love to see a button snap behind this badge, so it's Velcro and button. That's a really nice way to do it. And I also have been rocking over the last couple of days a Milwaukee ink salt. Just throwing that on my shirt collar. Really handy way to carry a felt tip pen around if that's something you need. I've been labeling a bunch of stuff, so that's been in my pocket lately. Next week we will be talking about this guy right here. This is the Nextool W4, and I've used this a few times on some jobs in film lighting type situations. Big fan of having that crescent wrench on a multi-tool. And if you guys aren't familiar with this guy, it also has a bit of a ratcheting action where that jaw there can, I can't even do it on camera, but can kind of slide so you can get a ratcheting action on that wrench. We'll talk more about that in next week's pocket dump. Join us Wednesdays at 10:30 a.m. Central if you want to see these pocket dumps right off the bat. Otherwise, they come out a couple weeks later to everyone who did not watch the live stream. And we'll try it in the pouch, throw that on the hip, and rock it for a week or so and do some more testing on it. Thanks for watching. We're getting back to the live stream right now. Rock and roll. Welcome in, everybody. How you guys doing? Let me know in the chat if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, etc. We're going to do what we do every Wednesday morning, and that is disassemble a bunch of multi-tools to restock our parts store, multipartsstore.com. And yeah, let's get into it. Let me get that muted. Okay, I've got 3 MP600s in front of me. These are all the variations that we stock parts for, and there's just a couple of minor differences between them, but it gives us a good broad category, a broad amount of tools. So we've got the 3 different plier heads you'll see here. We've got the needle nose with the fixed cutters, the replaceable cutters, and then the blunt nose, which always have the replaceable cutters. There's also a couple differences internally with the blades and the tool package that's included. These are the Pro Scouts as well, worth mentioning, versus the blunt nose, which is not a Pro Scout. But this is the way we found to give us the biggest group of different tools with buying as few as possible, a few different varieties. So I've just got my spudger here. We're going to pop free the retaining clips there on the plier head, and just carefully so we don't lose any of those little parts. There's a spring and a pusher on each side. Set those all together, and with the blunt nose plier head, you also get a Torx key. Interestingly, Gerber does not include that Torx key on the needle nose on the Pro Scout. An odd choice in my estimation, but that's all right. We're gonna. Am I using the right side? One of these sides is a little bit more blunt because that's the side that jams into my hand as I use it. So we are going to crack those guys free as well, just working in little batches here. Oh, we lost our spring and our pusher. Those should be inside. Excellent. One of the best investments of time. If you guys don't know, we recently moved our workbench to a new location. And in that process, I took some extra time and made sure that the bench tops were as level as I possibly could get them. And it has paid dividends in keeping parts from rolling away. And of course, as I say that, a part rolls away, but keeps these parts where I put them for the most part. Let me go ahead and grab some bags real quick while we've got these plier heads in place. Put these in bags real right off the bat so that all of the hardware gets kept together. If you do purchase one of these plier heads, you will get all of the hardware with it. Let's just get those out of the way so we got more room to work on the rest of the tool. You guys are doing well. We've got some weather getting a little bit nicer again. We've been in and out of snow territory for the last couple of weeks. It'll be 70 degrees and then we'll get a foot of snow. Hopefully this is the last of that snow, or that was the last of this snow. So just gonna grab our 4-lobe wrenches. You don't need two, but I always like to, we sell them in packs of 2, so just in case I like to have that second one ready to go. And all we're going to do is crack free these pivots. There is one side that is keyed and so it won't spin as long as it's in the right position. If it's not, we can grab that wrench on the other side and back it up. Now just pull that lock backwards to get it out of the way while we work on this and spin that free. Ronald, welcome in. Flip that tool over, we'll do the other side. Is that a new profile picture, Ronald? I really do try and remember everybody who stops by the stream. I remember the name, the picture looks new. But I could be crazy. Wouldn't be the first time. Day's going well, Ronald. We got a lot of stuff going. We got a lot of stuff to take apart today, but we got a good head start this morning. So we're in a good spot for the rest of the day, which is always exciting. We've got some stuff to do later, so I'm always like, if I can get a good start to the day, it makes a huge difference on the rest of your day, you know? Got some equipment that's coming back to, it's been in my parents' basement for years, and I'm going to pick it up later to get it out of their hair and to have access to some more equipment here in the shop. All right, there is the first one done. You see I just keep that hardware pack with it. Everything else is arbitrarily placed. Let's go ahead and grab this guy free. Just gonna work through these 3 MP600s. You saw the very first second of the video, we had just about filled the frame with multi-tools, which means it's going to be a bit of a grind today, but I'm looking forward to it. And I think that's how it's gonna go going forward. We're doing, our orders are going to bi-weekly, our restocking orders, because there's always stragglers. It's hard to keep track of. So if we place a big order and then we wait 2 weeks, we'll always have some stuff on that second week, and it just keeps things a little bit simpler, frees up some time, kind of concentrates the work, I guess. So one week I've got a little bit more work, and then the second week I've got a little extra time to get some more done around the shop and get some improvements going. Got a little bit of a sticking point here. Pardon the noise. We're going to do a little bit of thwack here. Just to pop that pivot free. It just gets jammed up sometimes. Nothing crazy. Shouldn't require too much force. Go ahead and stack these parts together. You can see here why why we have to buy so many different varieties of the MP600. Obviously, the plier heads are different between tools. Losing track of where I'm at. The plier heads vary between tools, but also the blades vary. We've got a combo edge blade here. And then the other tool has a serrated and plain edge blade. And there's a couple of other. We can see we got scissors here and a saw on the other variety. Pro Scout comes with the saw if you guys are so interested. Oh, just took her for a walk. Just got back. Awesome. I couldn't tell what it was until you said that. Now I see the dog's. It's tiny on my screen. What is your dog's name and what breed? I have been I've been deep in the rabbit hole of looking at shelter dogs lately. My brother got a dog about six or 8 months ago, and I dog sit once a week for a couple hours. And I'm like, man, I need a dog in my life. Another dog, I guess. Shelby the boxer. Oh, absolutely awesome. I wondered if it wasn't a boxer. That's great. My brother's dog is an absolute mutt. Got 6 or 8 different breeds. It was a rescue, and she is a handful, but I always enjoy it. We go up to the forest preserve pretty regularly, especially now that it's getting a little warmer. Pick her up on Fridays and take her out for a little while, and forest preserve's been a go-to lately. I've really enjoyed just hiking through the woods. Nothing crazy. I'm not bushcrafting or anything, but just getting out into nature. And of course, it's a little bit different for me because I don't have to take care of the dog full time. So for me, it's always a treat. All right, we've got those MP600s broken down, almost 12 years old. Oh my gosh. MP600s are broken down. We're going to get these parts bagged up, just the saw blades, because they've got a couple different pieces of hardware, and then a few different pieces of, or a few different hardware kits for the frames. You'll notice that one of them comes with a lanyard ring. That's the standard MP600, or the blunt nose that we buy. But that should get us through all of these. Those bagged up and thrown into their respective homes. We'll keep rocking and rolling. Need to get some WD-40 on this chair. Those are combo edge. And everything you see taken apart today has been updated on the store. So if you head to multipartsstore.com or hit the link in the description, you'll be able to check these parts out. They should be in stock. If they're not, that means that they've already sold. And you can always sign up for restock notifications on the item pages, whatever you're looking for. Sign up for notifications, and that way, as soon as we restock, which is almost always Wednesday mornings, you will get an email on that. And you should, one thing we try, and technology is hard, but we try not to spam you guys' emails. So it won't sign you up for like a newsletter or anything. It'll just give you that notification when that part is restocked once. Ronald's got the Null Raiden R2. I love the Kershaw leak. Kershaw leak is, I don't have one. My brother, who has the dog, same brother, had I think he had a chive. He had the little one way back in the day, but it was like, at the time, probably like 2012, something around there, 2013 maybe. And it was like, you could get an Ontario rat, you could get a Spyderco Delica, or you could get a Kershaw. And when the Ken Onion line of like the chive, the leak, and the whatever the other ones are came out, those were huge. Big Idea titanium pen and the Fossil watch. Heck yeah. Let's jump into, I guess I've got an Arc Talos here, so let's go ahead and pop that open. I know we have one customer waiting for one of these parts. We did, this is unfortunate, but I'll share the news. We did implement a pre-order system, or like a back order system, a little while back. For anyone who's looking for parts that were out of stock, you could put in a back order, and it would give us a heads up that someone's waiting, and it would also ensure that you got the very next part available. Unfortunately, it caused so many issues outside of that system that we had to cancel it. If you are really struggling to get a part though, please send me an email, zach@multipartsstore.com. Same spelling as the YouTube username, so it should be easy to find. And just let me know. I can't guarantee perfect, obviously the restock notifications is your best bet, but we can always put a little extra effort into getting the part you're looking for. Unfortunately, the backorder system just completely destroyed. It allowed people to buy stuff on backorder without telling them it was backordered. And so it just led to a ton of confusion for a couple of customers that we caught it early, luckily, but it not ideal. PG, welcome in. Keep on carrying. Hi, Zach and EDC World. I love that. Ronald, everyone, make sure you are subscribed and like the video. Hit the thumbs up. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a ton. We are. I think we're getting settled into the new space. It's hilarious because I mean we're in my apartment, so it's not like a new space to me. But it took a couple of weeks to kind of feel like I was. To kind of regain the mojo, I guess. It was an odd feeling being somewhere that you've been for years, but just feels different when you change things up. So we've got a lot of the mess that was created in the move cleaned up. And now we can get back to work, so to speak. I'm looking forward to some projects we got coming up. Oops, let's stick with that because I don't have a second punch here. Get these frames opened up. We had someone reach out the other day who had lost one of these little washers. If you guys ever... Obviously, a lot of the parts we have for sale, if there's something that you don't see for sale on the website or you're just missing one part, please feel free to reach out to me. If at all possible, we will try and get that part for you. It's not always possible, but we do have bins full of spare parts. So if there's something lying around that's not for sale and we can send it out to you, absolutely happy to do so. A lot of times we'll just send it in the regular mail, put it in, if it's a small part like that washer, put it in an envelope, send it out via the regular post mail, and get that to you in a few days. Obviously, it won't be tracked, won't be insured, but we send it out free of charge often enough. Again, I can't guarantee it, but if you're looking for something, can't find it, either don't see it on the site, I can either direct you to it on the site, or if it's something that we're not selling but we happen to have, got too many spare parts as it is, so I'm happy to send those off to you. Just mention that because we had somebody reach out recently who was missing that tiny washer, couldn't, you know, and I've got some spares to offer. PG's leaving his wife. I hope that that's purely a joke, or if not, I hope it's amicable. Ronald, what would I suggest for a good keychain multi-tool? It's been a while since we've looked at keychain multi-tools, honestly. And it kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you can get a Leatherman squirt, I mean that's the go-to for a lot of people. Unfortunately discontinued. However, there is a little bit of news I'll share here. Give me 1 second. I'll go grab the parts that I'm talking about because it's very interesting. So give me 1 second. I'm just realizing that I don't have anything to actually show you. Give me one. Let's pull up. Let's pull this up. We just did a video. I think it came out on Monday. So, and this is really cool. So if you can find a Leatherman squirt on eBay, there is a seller on eBay now, and I can't guarantee it, but I believe this is the one that I purchased from. Let me just make sure. Yeah, we can do this without. Okay. Let me switch over here. There is a seller who is selling a replacement spring for the scissors on the squirt. That's a point of failure that happens a lot on the squirt. And but now you can replace it. So I did a video on it. You drill out the pivots on the squirt and you can replace it with these Torx posts and replace the spring. It's an aftermarket spring. Absolutely an awesome option. And it means that you can go on eBay and grab a squirt that's broken with the broken spring, because it's super common. You get them relatively cheap. And it is an incredible, like, let's see if I can find one. You know, some of them have different parts missing, but $20, $25. So they're in that range if the scissor spring's broken. And then the replacement part's like $12, something like that. So really good option if that's what you're looking for. Happy to, Ronald. That's been, with the introduction of that replacement part, it's been kind of a no-brainer for me to recommend. PG said Nextool F12. I have not looked at that. That's worth exploring as well. If you guys have any suggestions other than those, post them in the chat so we can help Ronald out. I like to say that you guys know more than me, and you know, just because I'm running a YouTube channel, doesn't mean I know much. So you guys, please share your insights, because they are super helpful both to me and to a lot of our viewers. The other one that I liked, oddly enough, was the Gerber dime. We did a keychain roundup probably year and a half ago, 2 years, and I like the Gerber dime. I don't know that it's not like the best tool, but it's cheap and it's easy to get. But I think the PS4 is big for most people, especially assuming you want pliers on it. Some people don't care about pliers. Shadow Slayer, welcome in. Good morning, sir. All right. The most honest person I've seen so far. I appreciate that. We're I know my limits. Or I just assume that I have limits. Self-deprecating has always come easy to me. So we've got a Wave black oxide here, and so a couple of T10 Torx bits is what we use on these guys. Just gonna keep rocking through these, and then 2 standard waves. Let's see what we're 1056. We're not too bad actually. We do, as always, have our show and tell at the end. I'm trying to I don't know, changing up the formats just a little bit over time. Always let me know if you guys see something you like or don't like about a change in our style here. Let me know. Next tool, S11 Pro. Shadow Slayer recommends for a keychain tool. I really just feel like it's so hard to keep up on this stuff. You guys are very good at it. There's other channels that do a good job. You know, I'm trying to stay focused on the how-to stuff a little bit. I would love to be able to buy every new tool that comes out, but it's just not in the cards. We don't get a lot of stuff for free. I think the only tool we've ever gotten for free was a Roxxon. But of course we have the store, and that drives revenue. Not trying to tell a sob story. Let's go ahead and break down the tool side next. As always, if we face those tools downward, then the right-hand side is going to be handy. For any left-handed viewers, you will want to keep that in mind, because there's a handedness to a lot of these tools. Next tool seems like they have a ton of little keychain options. The flagship mini was the one that was out when we did the roundup, but I'm sure there's been more since then, and that was before the like upgraded version. Is it the Pro? And then of course there's all the little abbreviations that I'm unfamiliar with, unfortunately. Just using that spudger there to pop that free. Sometimes gets bound up just a touch. Drop out the tools, and there we have it. I'll be doing a bunch of, I think right now, our plan is, my plan is to post a bit more over on TikTok. I don't know, some of you guys may not be over on TikTok. I totally understand. But I wanted to I don't want to do a second channel, but I want to do more behind the scenes stuff that may not interest our regular viewers. And so I think over there is where we're going to post a lot of that. I've got a bunch of upgrades I want to make just off camera here to my Gridfinity setup, if that's something that interests you. And if not, we'll try not to spend too much time on it here on the main channel. Probably do one bench tour and then leave the rest over on our other channels, our other socials. 6, 7. Same thing with, I just upgraded my 3D printer. Been doing a ton of 3D printing, but this isn't a 3D printing channel, so We will have a couple of 3D print type videos coming up soon for those that are interested, but I'm going to try and keep it minimal, just so that those who, I mean, a lot of people don't have a 3D printer, don't have the reason for it, might not have the skill set, and I don't want to turn into, here's 3 videos of 3D printing. All right, there is our black oxide frame. Some of you probably noticed, and I didn't, that we had some engraving here on the frame, so that is going to go off to the side. Hillside Hatchery. Occasionally we get them with some engraving, so those get set aside. Yeah, we'll definitely do one like long form video on the setup now that it's gotten to a point that's worth sharing. Obviously, kind of have the oh, not nosy. You're not the first to ask either. I like to think I've got a pretty optimized setup for what I do here at the bench, which is disassemble and reassemble multi-tools. So I think it will be helpful for a lot of our viewers. Then there's also, I've got a workbench behind me now, the 3D printer stand, a couple of toolboxes full of stuff, and a couple storage shelves for anything and everything. So as I improve those setups, they may be less interesting, but they're interesting to me, and I would like to share it with those who want to see it. So we'll have it out there. It'll be available. And we do have, for the first time, I'm hoping to do in our Mod Monday series next Monday, a live stream. I'm hoping to do a full Swiss Army knife repair. We had a channel member who had a spring broken on I think it's a Midnight Manager. I'll have to double check the model. But one of the springs broke, and the plan is to repair that so we can demo the process. So we're going to be taking it apart, rebuilding it, and doing the full process. It's been something that's been difficult to do on camera up until now, so hopefully we can do it all in a live stream. Some of it may, I don't want to make promises, some of it may end up happening off camera, but the goal is to do most of it live, as we do all of our Mod Monday videos, or most of our Mod Monday videos. Do them live, and then release them to the rest of our. So if you want to catch that, you will need to be a channel member to watch live, but it will of course come out for free to all of our viewers a couple weeks after. We're about 1 month ahead on video releases, so give you an idea. And we did get some feedback about members only videos. There was a user error earlier this year where a ton of videos were released to members only, and it made it look like our whole channel's members only. The way that we do it is I try and release the videos once they're ready to members up until the point where they're normally released. So there'll be a couple of weeks, maybe a month, where a video is members only, but almost everything we do, it goes out to our full subscriber list for free. So don't feel like you have to become a member to watch those videos. They will certainly be available to you guys. Good morning, Tega Tech. Welcome in. I was just going through that box of goodies you sent me a while back, and I'm hoping very soon to do I think a Whatnot stream, where all of the extra tools that are sitting around will go off will go up for sale, and then anything you guys sent me, because I've had a couple of care packages, and thank you guys so much for those care packages. We're not going to sell those. We're going to give them away. So if you guys want to thank Tegatech in advance for some giveaways, now's the time to do so. And Chuck Marsh as well, if you were watching. Those goodies you sent are going to go out to our viewers as a part of a giveaway. I just think that's the, you know, the kind thing to do. There's some freebies that come with my Blade HQ orders and stuff like that. Those will get sold to clear some space. But as long as I can keep track of what is sent in by you guys, I will always try and make those future giveaways. I would feel wrong. I don't know if I need to explain this, but I would feel wrong if I sold something that was given to me by a subscriber. That's not the goal there. Tegatech, as always, coming through with the sales. Free P2 and Charge TTI are marked down on Amazon. I'll add to that, Kittery Trading Post has got a sale going on with for 20% off, I think everything, with coupon code FAMILY20. So I might put that, I'll put that in the chat and pin it real quick here. So if you're looking at something like the ARC or the free, not the free, the Leatherman ARC or the Wave Alpha, absolutely worth heading over to Kittery Trading Post, because you'll save 20% on those guys. What in the world? Oh, I'm just blind. I get that way sometimes. Let me post that in the chat real quick so that you guys have it. I think it ends today. I'm going to over-explain it because people will come in later and not see, but there is the coupon code in the pinned message now that the Kittery Trading Post sale is going on through today. I picked up, what did I grab this morning? Another ARC and a Wave Alpha, I believe. A couple we were understocked on. And if these waves bind up on you, usually it's, and in fact, you can see it right here. Let's take a second. This is worth it. Well, you can almost see it. It's so hard to show this stuff on camera. The top of this screw, this portion right here, is flattened. And it should be facing directly north and south, but it's turned ever so slightly. So if you have something binding like that, see how that pin does not come out? It's just because it started to turn ever so slightly. So I'm just going to turn this clockwise about 5 degrees. And then that pin should right out. And I totally intended for it to drop out in that manner and throw parts everywhere on the bench. I think we're still good though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then unline there. Perfect. We did that on purpose. So that's the reason that, even though I've seen some people say you don't need a second screwdriver for these, I always use a second screwdriver. Keep that on the back end of that tool to prevent that pivot from spinning. The only tool I don't use a second... God. The only tool I don't use a second screwdriver on is the MP600. And sometimes it can still come in handy, but I don't usually find it necessary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excelente. Here we go. Ooh, Joker's going to be experimenting with Perma Blue on the Roxxon Flex aluminum scale to see if it takes. Good luck. Would love to, I mean, post in the community, as you know. Would love to see how that works out for you, because that would be... That's one thing I think, for as modular as the Roxxon tools can be, there's not as many color options on the Flex, on the flagship part. But, well, not the flagship, but the what I consider their flagship tool. Of course, on the Flex Companion, you've got tons of color options, and the scales, which I think are G10. These guys are over here. Everything Easton, welcome in. Yes, this is 2 Leatherman Waves we have taken apart, as we do every Wednesday. For those that are just joining us or new to the channel, we've got a good handful of multi-tools on the bench today that we take apart to sell the parts to you guys on our website. So we live stream it every Wednesday morning, and just took apart 2 Leatherman Waves. And we will be following that up with a Leatherman Wave Alpha. Just going to get these parts put away into their storage. Birch Cassie also makes aluminum black that will work perfectly for that. The Perma Blue is usually for carbon steels. See, this is what I'm saying, you guys. There is a lot of knowledge in our community. And it's knowledge that isn't regularly shared, I think. So cool to see that. Yeah, we need to... I wish we could get a way to, like, maybe the Discord is the solution, just to have that information available to users in the future would be so incredible. Because somebody's going to ask that question in 2 years' time, and hopefully you're still hanging around, Shadow Slayer. Give that advice. So same drivers here on the Wave Alpha. It's the T10 driver bits. These are not security Torx, luckily, thankfully, kindly, but they are still T10, so we can use the same drivers. Slide out our pivot screws here. I always got to make sure we get that pivot ring included. The little decorative cap there. Orange cap. Oh boy, stomach's gone. We're gonna have to grab an early lunch today. I'll have to look and see what bluing compound. Now, that wasn't aluminum, so it'd be a whole different ball game. But I did try out a couple of different bluing compounds on some Leatherman Free P4s a while back, and I was not able to get any good results. Speaking of which, if you want a blacked out Free P4 frame, we do have one left. The price is a little stupid, but they were prototypes that I'll show you. We have one set of Cerakoted black frames. It's the last one we've got. Unfortunately, we were going to do larger runs and bring the price down, but we did a test batch of 4, and then the free P4 was discontinued. So I figured I'd at least make them available, even if the price had to be a little bit absurd. Those are on the website. I may do some more limited runs, kind of an experiment to see if they would be popular or not. And I know there's some people in this chat that can put you in touch if you just want to have your own tool custom Cerakoted. I'm sure you could get in touch with someone who might be willing to help you out there. All right, trying to take care on these guys because there's just a few more parts than on the Wave. I just want to make sure everything gets pulled out correctly. Awesome. All right, there is the Wave Alpha disassembled. So we'll get these hardware packs put together. And just a couple tools left on the bench. We'll get through those. We'll get to our show and tell. I've got a sort of a, what do you call it? A less common tool, an older tool for today's show and tell. That's the lanyard ring, which means this is the pocket clip side. Excellent. Those scissors, which if past his prologue are probably already sold, but grab them while you can. And then what's fascinating to me is this blade has been far less popular than the Obsidian version, which the only difference is the thumb screw. I'm surprised more people didn't want the orange thumb screw. All right, that is that. Let's see. Leatherman Surge is up next. Before we do that, it's always easier to just take the blade or the saw blade out. Jport asks if I know where you can find the square bit driver for the MP600, and I believe I know what you're talking about. Let me see. Let me check to see if I even have one. Unfortunately, you're correct. They're really hard to find. There was about a 2-month period, maybe a year ago, where the MP600 blunt nose was coming with the adapter kit, which included that square drive, but it stopped and I haven't seen one since. And so it's been really odd that we're not able to get them. I'm trying to think. Let me check my toolbox. I'll see if I have anything. Yeah, unfortunately, we just don't get them, and I don't know where to locate them. Wish I had a better answer for you. For those who aren't familiar, there's a bit adapter for the Gerber tools, similar to what Leatherman produces for the rebar. And I do wonder, I don't have one on hand. Otherwise I would check. I wonder if the Leatherman rebar adapter would work. There's one way to find out. If we grab some calipers, need a fresh battery on these, but 4.69 mil, and that is 4.89. 5. So they might. Yeah, I was wondering if the rebar's adapter would work, but I think it's going to be wrongly sized for it, unfortunately. Very sorry, I don't have a better answer for you, J-Port. There are plenty of those here. I'm gonna have to fight that bronze washer off of there. It's gonna give me trouble, I can tell you already. Keep that guy right there. All right, let's get to work on this. Sometimes, typically, well, easiest way is to use a brass punch here. It won't mar up the surface. Give it a little tap. Just be careful of your fingers on the blade. Am I getting swatted? There we go. There's the plier side down, and we'll just break open the tool side as well. The modern Surge is not keyed like the Wave, so you don't. It doesn't really matter which side, but some of the older Surges are keyed, so I always just do it the same way I do a Wave, with those tools facing down and the right-hand side spinning. Same deal over here. Excellent. This is the again the Leatherman Surge. I don't know if you guys caught. I posted over on the Leatherman subreddit that the Surge had an appearance in the movie Project Hail Mary. Highly recommend. That was a blast. Just saw it on Saturday. The only issue is there was when the Leatherman made its appearance, the blade flew out like it was automatic. It was one of the few inaccuracies that I caught. All right. Grab that T-shank and the blades for it. Throw that in there, and now it's the last bit. Joker, replacing the scales on the Victorinox I sent. Is there anything else I need, or do they just snap in? If you are using, it depends on what kind of scales you purchased, but they typically are just going to snap in. Do you know what kind of scales did you get? Are they micarta, or are they the original like Celador scales? Because it can vary by maker. Everything I've tried does snap in. Some 3D printed ones as well might snap in. So it's like, worst case, you can add a little epoxy. That was super unhelpful, I know, but trying to answer it before instead of waiting for more information. Yeah, most of these scales that I've used have just snapped in there, but it's going to depend on the maker. The Rips Garage Tech, which we sell on the site, those will just snap in. Taschenmesser Mad on Etsy, those scales should snap in. And if it's the red translucent ones from Victorinox, yes, those should just snap in place, 100%. Just gentle, even pressure. I think when we did all those, we used the bench vise to kind of compress them on. You should be good to go. There's a few I've not come across any, but there's a few scales out there that I've seen that do require a little bit extra. Like epoxy, especially the metal scales. If you were to buy any metal scales, they would probably need to be glued in place, but all of the standard ones and all of the micarta ones I've come across are just snap in place. They've got a little bit more forgiveness in the geometry, so they work out well. It's cool to see. Please also, Joker, share that picture once you get it, the new scales on, because I'd love to see it. It's cool to see there's somebody else who changed scales. I don't remember offhand. I apologize. And for those who aren't familiar, we did a giveaway to all of our channel members, a member appreciation day last year, where we refurbished a bunch of Swiss Army knives and gave them out. And it's cool to see them getting further modified by y'all. We still have JHG, welcome in. We still have I've probably got 10 or 15 Swiss Army knives left, so we'll have to figure out a use for those as well. They will probably go into future giveaways. I really need to learn to wait for answers. I'm just realizing I was rambling without knowing what scales you were looking at. I tried reducing the latency so that even unless you go to like ultra low latency, there's still about 10 seconds between what I say and when you hear it. It's like having a conversation from the moon back to Earth. That is what is this, Psychic? Yes. That is the last one for today. What time is it? 11:29. We're in pretty good shape. Appreciate you guys sticking around. We do have a show and tell to wrap up. If you want to catch that you head out. Get things cleaned, tidied up here a little bit. And again, don't forget that there's a couple of sales on Amazon that Tegatech mentioned. The Free P2 and Charge Plus TTI are both reduced on Amazon. And Kittery Trading Post has got a 20% off 20% off sale with code FAMILY20. It's in the pinned comment. So check that out if you're looking for a Leatherman or anything else from Kittery Trading Post. All right. Restless Ghost says they're mounting their rebar with some of my parts next week. I appreciate that. Send pictures. If you go to the communities tab on the channel, it'd be cool to see. JHG, what happened to my fingers? Nothing. I had some hangnails that were uncooperative, and I just covered them up right before the stream because I didn't want to subject y'all to that. I try and, I mean, I don't have perfectly manicured hands by any means, but I try not to subject you guys to my injuries, no matter how minor. Yeah, Restless Ghost, please share those pictures next when you finish your mod, or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. All right, let's record a quick video here. I will come back to the live stream chat, so if you have questions, comments, whatever, keep posting. I will run back through them here in just a moment. As we do every week on the stream, we're going to end with a quick show and tell. And I think this might be a re-recording, but I've got the Gerber MP800, also known as the Legend here. I wanted to show it to you guys who are interested in these older multi-tools. I believe this is discontinued. It is still available out there if you're searching, and let's talk about it. So this is going to be a butterfly folding multi-tool from Gerber. And if you aren't familiar, a lot of Gerber's, the MP600 line, as well as the MP400, these are all out the front sliding multi-tools. You can see those pliers slide in and out, okay? Many of you will know that already. They also have the suspension, the truss, and the suspension NXT, which have that butterfly opening. And that's what the Gerber MP800 is going to have. However, it does share more in common on the internal tool set with something like the MP600, especially the MP600 Pro Scout. So we'll jump into that. But first, spring-loaded pliers. Worth mentioning, some people love them, some people hate them, but these are going to come with those spring-loaded pliers and the replaceable cutters, which I believe are listed as carbide. I know people have feelings on that. I'll leave it to you to decide. The other kind of cool selling point for the MP800, and a reason some of our viewers seem to like it, is you have one-handed, outwardly accessible tools. So you can see that blade slides in and out very, very easily. And I'll note this was a used model, so the action may be a little bit different than you get from a more you would have gotten from a new version. However, there is that outwardly accessible knife blade that you can get with one hand, and you can even close it with one hand without too much trouble. Over on the other side, something I don't think I've ever seen other than I guess Leatherman has them, but the one-handed accessible scissors. Gerber scissors are not known for being the greatest scissors in the world, but if you like having those scissors, worth knowing they are one-handed. Inside, you're going to have very similar tools to what you see on the MP600. I do believe these to actually be interchangeable with the MP600 since they use the same system for the lock geometry. You're going to have 3 flathead screwdrivers here, small, medium, and large, as well as the bottle opener there. And on the other side, we're going to have the file, that same file that comes on the MP600, I believe. On the other side, we're going to have a couple of things. We've got the replaceable Remgrit saw. I've never really used the Remgrit saw, so let me know in the comments if you have feelings on that. Let me know how it's worked for you, but it is a cool idea, and you can, of course, replace it with different saw blades if you see fit. And then a full 3-dimensional Phillips driver, something that people often prefer over something like the interchangeable bit system on a Leatherman Wave or something like that. But the other thing you're getting in this package is a much more comfortable experience on the pliers compared to the MP600. You've got, these used to be known as Mr. Pinchy, where you would get blood blisters from clamping that on your hands. I believe they improved that in later generations, but not a particularly comfortable experience compared to the rounded, larger, kind of better grip you get on the MP800, and again, spring-loaded pliers. So that's very nice. You do, of course, lose the one-handed access to the pliers. Again, easy to get those pliers in and out one-handed. This is going to be a two-handed tool. They've got a nice snap into that position, but I just wanted to show this off because it is a tool that is, I believe, discontinued. It can run in the $150 range if you're finding them online. So not for everybody, but I know some people have reached out to me, say that this is their go-to multi-tool and are looking for even repair parts for it. I do believe, we're going to do some testing here, but I do believe that the MP600 parts are going to work in this tool, with the exception of the blade and the scissors here, which have this additional feature. If you guys have any thoughts on the MP800, let me know in the comments. We're always just trying to show off new and old tools here and just kind of explore the multi-tool world in these show and tell videos. We do live stream every Wednesday morning, so join us next Wednesday. We're going to get back to that live stream chat right about now, I think. All right. Rock and roll. I'm going to throw this back in the box here. We'll be doing some more testing on that MP800 in the near future. Likely as part of Mod Monday. I think that is it for today's stream. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'll try and get back to you in the comments section as soon as possible. And yeah, we'll see you guys next Wednesday.